There's been a delay in jury selection in the trial of Sean Diddy Combs. The judge postponing the last phase of the process until Monday.
He sent somebody through somebody else to try to get in contact with me, telling me enough is enough.
Literally just leaving the federal courthouse. Lots happened today. The big thing is there is still no jury.
Key witnesses are missing, and some jurors are stepping back, delaying Diddy's trial. Reports say he may sue his former bodyguard over recent statements. Cassie is set to testify this week and may need witness protection. Questions remain: what happened to witness 3? And why the juror hesitation?
Jury in the Sean Diddy Combs case almost complete. Prosecutors are preparing for opening arguments on Monday, but they admit there's a snag. One of their key witnesses against the rapper appears to have gone missing. This comes as we learn that Combs' ex-girlfriend, who was seen on video being assaulted by the rapper, is pregnant. Here's Les Trent.
Is a key witness in the Sean Diddy Combs trial backing out? Victim number 3, as she's called, was set to testify against the music mogul. The name of victim number 3 was going to be revealed when she took the stand, but the woman has apparently gone missing, and prosecutors say they've been unable to reach her.
People just get nervous, and this person could just be nervous and just has had second thoughts.
If the prosecutor can't find this witness, how might it affect the case?
Look, I don't think it's going to have a tremendous effect. The prosecution is going to call a number of alleged victims. So look, this is just one less.
Someone else is also getting cold feet. A juror sent an email to the judge asking to be removed from the panel for issues of personal well-being.
Prosecutors have announced that victim 3 is currently missing, sparking speculation about possible ties to Diddy, though nothing is confirmed. Over the years, Diddy has faced repeated accusations of trying to silence or discredit those who speak against him. There are also claims that even while in custody, he attempted to contact witnesses, raising concerns about possible interference.
I mean, on the surface, if the prosecutor's claims are true, this seems like pretty much textbook witness tampering, right? I mean, it appears to be an effort to either, in some cases, intimidate witnesses from testifying against him, or there have been other reports of sort of inducing people to make statements in his defense. There was some allegation that in one instance this was a statement that he, in essence, dictated or drafted with a woman who made a statement that was attempting to rebut one of the accusers, I believe, in a civil case against him. I mean, witness tampering is bad. The things that Sean Combs is accused of are terrible. He pleads his innocence. The justice system will presumably work its way through.
It is likely that there is some underlying truth to at least some of the allegations. There might be a lot of underlying truth to a lot of the allegations. There's probably some bandwagoning going on. We spoke to an attorney who's for one of the alleged victims of Diddy a few weeks ago. I believe Amber Nomiki and I did, and they said they had calls, they had information, they had people, hundreds of them, come forward. They're not going to represent all of them. They're, which ones have evidence that can be compelling. What are the best cases to bring that? I also saw a story in the New York Post. This is from a week ago, about Diddy stuff that I wanted to read the headline of. Woman claims she saw minors dressed as Harajuku Barbies at Sean Diddy Combs' FreakOFF parties, what he was describing there to Conan so many years ago. Said these were sex-fueled parties with what she initially thought were little people dressed as Japanese Barbies. And she said, this is her talking to TMZ, are those midgets? And she actually thinks they were kids dressed up in sexy.
Oh, gross.
So again, that's just from someone who provided this information to TMZ for a documentary. But pretty disgusting.
It is. No, that's.
Call records from the Metropolitan Detention Center indicate Diddy may have contacted witnesses multiple times, potentially using family members to avoid direct involvement. In one instance, he allegedly called a victim over 200 times. His former bodyguard, Gene Deal, also claims he received a message from Diddy urging him to stay silent.
And you right about Diddy's phone being tapped, because news came out that his former bandmate from Dirty Money, she called the other group member Dunn 58 times trying to get her to stop the lawsuit against Diddy.
She ain't the only one he was trying to get in contact with. You understand? He sent somebody through somebody else to try to get in contact with me, telling me enough is enough. Oh, okay. You tell Big Mama that enough is enough. You can't tell Wolf Mama enough is enough. You tell D Ferg Mama enough is enough. You understand? You tell all those people who supported you and they survivors, enough is enough.
You didn't tell me about this. So he tried to get somebody to reach out to you?
No, I got a phone call from Kirk Burrows. And Kirk Burrows, and I ain't gonna even get this guy no play. Not Kirk Burrows, but one of the Puff dudes that I know that's real close to him said, Kirk told me, yo, he wanna reach out to you, Gene. He wanna speak to you. I said, speak to me for what? What do you want to speak to me for? If he's trying to speak to me, it's for Puff. Point blank. I know the dude. I know how close he is to Puff. He's been with Puff from day one. So he ain't got nothing to say to me, bro. But Kirk Burrows did say to me that the dude said enough is enough. When do it becomes enough? This is relayed to me by Kirk Burrows. This guy is like this with Diddy. You seen him on Drink Champs with him. You see him walking the streets in Miami with him, the whole 9 yards. So I'm saying to him, what does he want to talk to me for? He ain't got nothing to say to me. He said, yo, Gene, he said enough is enough. You know what I'm saying? Enough is enough to what? And I told Kirk Burrows, yo, if he wanted, I said, he don't want to talk to me for himself. He wanted to talk to me for Diddy. And I ain't got nothing to say to him. He ain't said enough is enough to Wolf Mother when he cursed out and told her all kinds of shit. Did he say enough to Big's mother? What do you mean enough is enough? And that's how that conversation went.
How did you feel about it after you were done?
I felt that, like, because they must have got at Kirk Burrows, because Kirk called me with the bullshit. Yo, you gotta fix that. You know this, man. God, excuse me. Listen here, bro. I don't care nothing about none of these industry cats and what they do and how they do it. That's their business. You understand? I don't tell a man how to screw his wife and how to spend his money. You don't tell me what I gotta do with my time. Point blank.
Do you feel like at some point Diddy could try to come after you or do something, you know, being that he's went after a lot of people, he's did a lot of stuff, as you know about.
Cam, let me tell you something, man.
Gene Deal claims he personally witnessed disturbing behavior from Diddy. According to him, it wasn't until Diddy allegedly tried to harm his girlfriend that he fully grasped the severity of the situation. Gene says he attempted to step in, but Diddy ignored his warnings.
The parties I seen, I knew that they were spiking drinks. My girl was at the New Year's party, right? I'm at the front door. I got to make sure everybody got their passes and everything like that. So then my girl and her girlfriend is in the party. So they get bottles of champagne. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking for them. After everybody comes, they close the door. So I'm going knocking in doors, looking at people. I'm looking for my kid's mother now. What the fuck, what's going on? And I'm getting hysterical. So I decided to go to the car, and I looked in the car. She was in the car asleep. She said, Gene, we started drinking the champagne, and I didn't feel good. And me and Debbie came here and went to sleep. And my whole thing about it is that Puff wasn't right what he did to people around us, man. He wasn't right what he did to people around us. Him being hard-headed, not listening, and not telling the truth and constantly lying cost a lot of people their lives, man. It cost a lot of people their lives. I want him to understand. When I told him, if we don't do something to these doors, people gonna die tonight. And forget, and I wanna say F what other people say, everybody know I told him that. Our whole crew know I told him that. From Slick to Nord, Bunny, Big Boy, Eddie, all the people that was with us that night, know I told him that. 9 people in.
Gene Deal is reportedly the only former team member who never signed a non-disclosure agreement with Diddy, allowing him to speak out publicly. Sources say Diddy required NDAs from those involved in his private events to maintain secrecy. Additionally, there are allegations that some women connected to Bad Boy Entertainment were placed in inappropriate situations with industry executives.
And I know you ain't signed it. I know you ain't signed an NDA, clearly. But did he make his artists sign NDAs and people that work for him?
Well, a lot of these rappers, a lot of these industry people, anybody who does business nowadays with the internet, they have NDAs, non-disclosure. That means that if you work for them, you around them, you can't disclose any of the information about them. It's the same thing that he gave to all his artists when he gave them their publishing back. I'm gonna give y'all publishing, but y'all can't talk about Janice Combs, Justin Combs, Sony, Bad Boy, or anything that happened. Y'all can't talk about none of that. But there's some artists that didn't say anything, that didn't sign it.
As jury selection wraps up, reports suggest Diddy is becoming increasingly anxious. With pressure building, sources say his legal options are dwindling. What's more, insiders hint that the case could extend beyond Diddy, potentially implicating even more influential figures. Jurors were also shown a list of celebrities not mentioned in the public lawsuit, sparking speculation about what prosecutors may expose during the trial.
Michael B. Jordan, Kanye West, and more celebrities were name-dropped at Sean Diddy Combs' trial. As jury selection in the mogul sex trafficking trial got underway May 5th in New York, NBC News reports prospective jurors were shown a list of more than 100 names of people and places that may be referenced during the trial, including actors Michael B. Jordan, Mike Myers, and rapper Kanye West. While the aforementioned celebrities are not implicated in the case, the potential jurors were asked whether they knew any of the names listed and whether it would impact their ability to be impartial, per the outlet. Attorneys did not share an explanation for the list. The names of women who have taken legal action against Combs were also on the list, including his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura, whose November 2023 sexual abuse lawsuit against the rapper was settled one day after it was filed. Danny DeCane alum Don Richard, who accused Combs of sexual assault in a lawsuit filed in September, was also listed. Combs has denied any wrongdoing in both cases.
The candidates are being asked about their own connections to or impressions of an array of celebrities, and with no explanation why, at least not yet. The parlor games have begun, my friends. Everybody is trying to connect the dots between the shiny, famous names and the beleaguered rap star Diddy and the charges. Just today, the name Robert Downey Jr. came up in court. When a prospective juror said that he knew a Robert Downey in high school, it was kind of funny. But Robert Downey, the actor, and Diddy apparently do know each other and have been seen together in public. But Robert Downey Jr. reportedly never attended Diddy's parties. So if he does figure into this trial somehow, it's going to be a lot of news to a lot of us. Mike Myers, another favorite Canadian, favorite actor, favorite comedian. He is on the jury question list as well. And that too is a tongue-wagging mystery.
As Diddy's legal troubles escalate, some of his associates are being named while others are quietly creating distance, mindful of potential fallout. Reports indicate he was offered a plea deal in exchange for cooperating with authorities, raising concerns among those connected to him. Notably, Bishop T.D. Jakes stepped down as lead pastor of the Potter's House megachurch just days after news of the possible plea deal emerged, fueling speculation about what could be revealed next.
Big breaking news tonight. For the first time in the history of New York City, a sitting mayor has been indicted for crimes. ABC News reporting that Mayor Eric Adams has been indicted by a federal grand jury. We do not know yet the exact charges. Federal authorities have been investigating Adams and members of his staff, issuing subpoenas for documents and cell phones. Several members of administration have resigned, some of them also friends of Mayor Adams. Again, Eric Adams, the 110th mayor of New York, has been indicted by a federal grand jury. We'll have the latest online and tonight on Eyewitness News at 11.
This was a shock to many in the religious community. Bishop T.D. Jakes has been a spiritual advisor to presidents and a religious voice to thousands. Now he says it's time to pass the baton to a new generation.
This is a beautiful moment for me.
From the pulpit Sunday, Bishop T.D. Jakes announced that he was stepping down from leadership at the Potter's House, the Dallas megachurch he founded in 1996 and has led ever since.
I cannot afford, especially after November, to risk something happening to me and you be sheep without a shepherd.
This is video from the service Jakes is referencing in November. It wasn't until months after his medical incident that he confirmed to the public he had a heart attack. Now, 5 months later, he told his congregation he had been preparing his daughter, Pastor Sarah Jakes Roberts, and his son-in-law, Pastor Torrey Roberts, to take the lead.
Amid rising concerns over witness safety, jury selection has been halted and Diddy's trial delayed. It's now clear that federal protection is essential to allow witnesses to testify without fear of intimidation or interference.
So literally just leaving the federal courthouse. Lots happened today. The big thing is there is still no jury. They're so concerned about jurors backing out over the weekend once they find out that they're actually on the jury, that they're going to bring 43 of them back on Monday morning. They're going to strike them and then go right into opening statements. Part of that is because they received an email overnight that one juror backed out. She was like, this is just too much. I can't do it. Too much pressure. They had to strike another juror who did not give accurate information. He's engaged in a lawsuit with the city of New York and forgot to mention that. I have been in court every day this week. I've been in court every day since this whole case started, and I will be here every day in the courtroom.
A delay in jury selection in the trial of Sean Diddy Combs. The judge postponing the last phase of the process until Monday. Here's ABC's chief investigative correspondent, Aaron Katursky.
This morning, Sean Combs is preparing to stand trial on sex crimes charges that could send him to prison for decades. The 12 people who will decide whether he's guilty are expected to be seated first thing Monday after lawyers make cuts from a pool of more than 40 prospective jurors. The judge initially wanted to do that on Friday, but changed his mind out of fear that jurors, if they had the weekend to think about it, would get cold feet. Once the jury is sworn, attorneys will deliver opening statements and the first witnesses will testify. Among them, Combs' ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, one of the women federal prosecutors say was coerced into drugged-up sex marriage.
Leaked calls from the Metropolitan Detention Center suggest Diddy may have tried to influence those accusing him. In a related case, Jay-Z was reportedly linked to similar tactics, with claims that a victim was offered a settlement to withdraw a lawsuit. These revelations raise serious concerns about the pressure witnesses and jurors may be facing, especially as some have begun to withdraw just days before the trial begins.
Diddy Combs is facing new accusations tonight of attempting to pay off witnesses in his sex trafficking case, even while behind bars in Brooklyn. Prosecutors filed papers overnight saying a jail sweep uncovered evidence. Combs recently paid off an unnamed witness who had posted a statement to Instagram in what prosecutors say was an effort to try and taint the potential jury pool. The filing also accuses Combs of using phone accounts for at least 8 other inmates. Combs' legal team continues to ask the judge to give him a bail option, but prosecutors are again arguing bail should be denied.
$75 million at his disposal. Isn't that by nature the exact thing that they're worried about? If you have this much money that you could make this thing, you could probably make people disappear if you really opted to.
See, this is the thing. That'll just make more trouble. Why would he make more trouble now? He done already bought off and paid off everybody he possibly could. Have you looked at the indictment? Like, he called some witnesses up to 54 times.
Yeah, 200 and how many Angel? 200 something people he tried to reach out to.
Like, what are you running, a telethon or a telemarketing agency? Telemarketers don't make that many calls in one day. Or sometimes not even in a week, all depending on who you was on that you down for Diddy.
What happens with exposures? You make yourself vulnerable to all kinds of attacks, seen and unseen. What happened to my friend? When he passed away, there was $250,000 on my head and $150,000 on his. But what if I had decided to go back with my head held low? and said, Sean, I'm willing to play the game. And then found a way to get inside of him and move him around.
Right, now let's get into what's going on with this Diddy trial, because there are some new things coming out as they're in the courtroom. And one thing that Diddy's defense team is leaning in on is saying that, yes, Diddy was abusive toward his ex Cassie, but they're also saying that she was no angel and allegedly got violent with him as well. It's day 4 of the Diddy trial, and the prosecutor and Diddy's attorney had a very interesting exchange with the judge. It kicked off with Johnson telling the judge that the victim one, who they believe is Cassie, will not be cross-examined about certain medical issues. But that's when Diddy's attorney said the defense is going to take the position there was a mutual violence in their relationship, hitting on both sides, DV, domestic violence. He said, we are absolutely going to admit to domestic violence, but at what point does it become coercive? And that's when the judge clarified, saying, you're arguing that they are just violent. And he said, right, we are saying that it's relevant. They also said they're submitting a letter to the court on the topic, and they're going to offer 2